I was talking to a friend the other day. Let's call her Margaret. She just turned 65, and she said something that really stuck with me. She told me, "I don't feel old, but lately I've noticed my energy isn't what it used to be. I want to stay active, travel, play with my grandkids, but I'm worried my body won't keep up." Now, if that sounds familiar, I want you to know something important. Aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. In fact, science shows us that small daily habits can add years to your life, and more importantly, add life to your years. So today, we're diving into 5 simple, science-backed habits that can help you feel stronger, sharper, and more vibrant after 60. And the best part? They're easier than you think. Let's start with the first habit, the one that might surprise you the most. It's not about eating some exotic superfood or running marathons. It's about something much simpler, movement. But not just any movement, the right kind. Habit number 1, move naturally throughout the day. Have you ever heard of the world's blue zones? These are places where people live the longest, healthiest lives, often past 100. And one thing they all have in common, they don't exercise the way we think of it. They don't force themselves onto treadmills or lift heavy weights. Instead, they move naturally all day long, gardening, walking to the market, even just getting up and down from chairs without help. Here's why this matters. Research shows that sitting for long periods can age your body faster. But the good news? You don't need to train like an athlete. Just focus on small bursts of movement. Set a timer to stand up every 30 minutes. Take a short walk after meals. Even fidgeting counts. The key is to keep your body in motion, because every little bit adds up to a longer, healthier life. Now, let's talk about the second habit, something that's just as important as movement, but often overlooked. Habit number 2, eat for longevity without depriving yourself. I used to think eating healthy meant bland salads and giving up all my favorite foods. But here's the truth. The longest living people in the world enjoy their meals. They just eat differently. For example, in Okinawa, Japan, they follow the 80% rule. They stop eating when they're almost full. Not stuffed, not hungry, just satisfied. Another tip, focus on colorful foods. Deep greens, bright berries, vibrant beans. These are packed with nutrients that fight aging. And here's a simple trick. Fill half your plate with vegetables first, then add the rest. You'll naturally eat more of the good stuff without feeling deprived. Oh, and one more thing. Don't skip protein. After 60, your muscles need it to stay strong. Eggs, fish, beans, even a little cheese. Find what you love and enjoy it guilt-free. Now, before we move on to the next habit, I want you to think about this. What's the one small change you could make today, right now, to move more or eat a little better? Maybe it's swapping soda for herbal tea or parking farther from the store to get extra steps. Tiny changes lead to big results over time. And speaking of time, let's talk about the third habit, the one that affects everything from your memory to your mood. We'll dive into that next. You know that feeling when you wake up after a terrible night's sleep? Everything feels harder. Your body aches, your mind feels foggy, even your mood takes a nosedive. Now imagine that happening night after night. It's exhausting just thinking about it, isn't it? Well, here's something that might surprise you. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired. Research shows it can actually shorten your lifespan. But the good news? Fixing it is easier than you think. And that brings us to our third science-backed habit. Habit number 3. Prioritize sleep like your life depends on it, because it does. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 72 and used to brag that he only needed 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Then he started noticing his memory slipping, his energy crashing by noon, and even his blood pressure creeping up. His doctor told him something eye-opening. "Frank, you can't cheat sleep. Your body repairs itself at night, your heart, your brain, even your immune system. Skimp on sleep, and you're aging yourself faster." So what changed for Frank? Firstly, he set a slow-down routine. An hour before bed, he turns off the TV, no more late-night news, dims the lights, and sips chamomile tea. Second, he keeps his bedroom cool and dark. Research shows 65 degrees Fahrenheit is the ideal temperature for deep sleep. And third, he stops stressing about getting 8 hours. Instead, he focuses on quality over quantity. Some nights he sleeps 6 hours, some nights 7, but he wakes up feeling refreshed. Here's the takeaway. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's your body's nightly repair session. And after 60, it's non-negotiable if you want to stay sharp and healthy. Now, let's talk about something just as powerful as sleep, but far more fun. It's the fourth habit, and it's all about connection. Habit number 4, cultivate strong social connections. Loneliness ages you faster than smoking. Did you know that feeling lonely can be as damaging to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day? It's true. Studies show that seniors with strong social ties live longer, recover from illness faster, and even keep their minds sharper. But here's the catch. It's not about having hundreds of friends. It's about having a few meaningful connections. Take Eleanor, for example. After her husband passed, she spent months barely leaving the house. Then she joined a weekly knitting group at her local library. At first, she went just for something to do. But those women became her lifeline. They celebrated birthdays, supported each other through illnesses, even started a recipe swap to eat healthier together. Eleanor told me, "Those ladies didn't just give me company, they gave me a reason to get dressed in the morning." You don't need a big social circle to reap these benefits. Maybe it's a weekly phone call with your granddaughter, or volunteering at an animal shelter where you chat with the staff. Even small interactions, like smiling at your mail carrier or striking up a conversation at the grocery store, can boost your mood and health. The key is to show up consistently. Because at the end of the day, longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. Now, we've covered 4 powerful habits so far: moving naturally, eating for longevity, prioritizing sleep, and nurturing connections. But there's one more habit that ties them all together, the secret ingredient that turns these practices into a lifestyle. And trust me, it's not what you'd expect. We'll dive into that next. A few years ago, I visited a remarkable community in Sardinia, Italy, one of those blue zones where people regularly live past 100. And do you know what surprised me most? It wasn't their diet or their exercise routines. It was the way they talked about getting older. One gentleman, Giovanni, put it perfectly. At 94 years young, he leaned in and told me, "The secret isn't just adding years to your life, it's adding life to your years." Then he winked and went back to pruning his grapevines, something he'd done every morning for 80 years. That brings us to our 5th and final habit, the one that ties all the others together. Because science confirms what Giovanni knew instinctively: how you think about aging might just determine how long and how well you live. Habit number 5, cultivate a purpose bigger than yourself. Let me ask you something. When you wake up in the morning, what gets you out of bed? Is it your garden that needs tending, your weekly chess game with friends, reading stories to your great-grandchildren? Here's what researchers found. Seniors with a clear sense of purpose have stronger immune systems, sharper memories, and even better recovery rates after illness. In fact, one study showed they're 2.4 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's. That's not just living longer, that's living better. Now, purpose doesn't have to be grand. My friend Ruth found hers in the tiniest way. She started baking bread for her neighbor who has trouble getting to the store. Every Thursday, without fail, she delivers a fresh loaf. That simple act gives her week structure, joy, and meaning. Another gentleman I know, Harold, began keeping a gratitude journal at 82. Now at 90, he says, rereading his entries reminds him how rich his life has been and still is. Your purpose might be caring for a pet, mentoring young people, or even just committing to learning one new thing each month. The key is this: it should make you feel needed. Because when you know you matter to others and to the world, you'll have a reason to take care of yourself too. Bringing it all together, your longevity blueprint. Let's take a quick walk through these 5 habits again, not as rules, but as gifts you give yourself. Habit number 1, you move naturally, not because you have to, but because your body craves motion, just like Giovanni tending his vines. Habit number 2, you eat for longevity, savoring colorful foods that love you back without ever feeling deprived. Habit number 3, you protect your sleep like the precious healing time it is, waking up refreshed instead of exhausted. Habit number 4, you nurture connections, because loneliness is far more dangerous than you ever realized. And habit number 5, you cultivate purpose, knowing it's the secret ingredient that makes all the others worthwhile. But here's what I really want you to remember. You don't have to do this perfectly. Miss a walk? Forget your veggies one day? That's okay. What matters is that you keep coming back to these habits day after day, year after year, because small steps add up to extraordinary results. I'll leave you with this. Aging isn't about decline. It's about possibility. Every wrinkle is a story. Every year is a chance to grow wiser, kinder, and yes, healthier. So tell me in the comments, which of these habits resonates most with you? What's one small change you'll make this week? Let's inspire each other. And if this video helped you, do me a favor. Hit that like button, share it with a friend who'd benefit, and subscribe for more tips on thriving after 60. Because the best years aren't behind you. They're within you. Until next time, keep blooming, just like this little plant here. All it needs is the right care, and so do you. Here's to your next 10 vibrant years.